So cool. Here's a very exclusive first look at the new iPadOS that was just released. You'll see the new liquid glass design aesthetic that looks absolutely gorgeous, but where things get really exciting is when you open up an app and drag in the corner here, you pretty much unlock desktop level window management. And you could really see that come to life here when you open a second one. You could then move these windows around just like you'd expect on a desktop and just fully multitask your workflows. They also pulled over their window management dots again to be familiar to close, minimize, and expand windows. They also greatly improved the cursor whenever using a trackpad or a mouse to be a lot more laptop-like. Before it was just a blotch kind of emulating a touch, but now you're able to click specific things. They also added this nav bar at the top to give you access to things like file, edit, view, again, all the stuff you'd be familiar with on a computer. And lastly, the absolute home run to making this an absolute productivity machine is a better file management system. You're now able to see your files in the same way you would on a desktop, not only sorting through them, but also having a bunch of different options in how you display them, seeing all the different stats in them. This is going to improve your management tenfold when you're working with a bunch of media, whether it's professional or otherwise. In my opinion, this is one of the most exciting updates out of WWDC this year. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments, and I'll catch you in the next video.
The Apple event just finished. Here's everything they announced this year you're actually going to care about in just 2 minutes. First, they're renaming all the device operating systems to 26 to align with the year they're being released. And they're all getting a huge visual rework to what they're calling liquid glass. A more rounded and translucent design aesthetic that also does things like consolidating down menus. I really like this. The home screen clock and background image are going to be a lot more dynamic now based on notifications and the image you choose. And then certain apps like the camera and web browser are going to have pretty big changes to align with the simplified design aesthetic. Apple CarPlay is getting the same design aesthetic and also support for widgets and live updates. For context, this is going to add a ton of functionality to CarPlay. The phone app with voicemail and FaceTime is getting a much needed overhaul, being a lot more visual and just consolidated. It's honestly super clunky before, so this is a game changer. There's now built-in call screening on the iPhone, so an unknown number will have to say who they are and what they're calling for before it rings through to you. There's SMS screening as well with a separate folder for unknown senders that won't send you notifications. Aside from urgent things like SMS PIN codes, which it'll automatically let through. Also got call hold detection, which will automatically detect when you're put on hold, put the call in the background, and then notify you when a real person picks up. This is really sweet. Messages now support background images for your messages and group chats. Group chats are also getting typing notifications and polls. This one's well overdue. Image generation now supports ChatGPT, not just Apple Intelligence like before. And one of my favorite features, we're getting live, real-time, on-device translations for both FaceTime calls and in messages. And again, this works natively. This is huge. The iPhone's getting a game app which will allow you to compete, earn achievements, and socialize on all your existing games. Visual intelligence, which used to previously only work with your camera, can now work via screenshots. Not only that, you're also able to leverage ChatGPT now to ask about things you see on your phone. So easy to use, too. The Apple Watch is getting an AI coach that could coach you through workouts to give you personal devices based on all of your previous data. And a few of the AI watch integrations like the Smart Stack being a lot more dynamic. And one new gesture, the wrist flick, which can do things like clear notifications. macOS got some huge visual changes with liquid glass, like the menu bar being transparent. It's got tinting like in iOS 18, and you can now customize your folders with different colors and emojis. macOS also now supports live activities from your phone, and it got the phone app. My favorite update, Shortcuts, their automation app, got a major update. You can do things like leverage AI, and we also got more unique Mac triggers like opening files and folders. I can promise you this is going to be huge, trust me. Lastly, we got a major Spotlight search update. Now Spotlight can not only search your computer way better, but it can now take action, so you could use it to do things like send message or trigger even more in-depth automations. They did a bunch of crazy demos here. This thing is way more impressive than it sounds. Vision Pro got widgets you can place around your house and updated personas that look way better. And crucially now supports peripherals like these PlayStation controllers and the stylus they just released. Lastly, iPadOS got the biggest update with all the same updates the iPhone got with the visual updates and all the group chat stuff. But they've now added intense desktop-like multitasking in a Windows system so you can drag your windows around just like you would on a Mac. Also added a menu nav bar, a file management system, and even a proper cursor. This is a huge update for the iPad. They also added more pro-level features like you can now do background tasks like rendering videos and stuff while you're in other apps. This is huge. And that's literally everything you need to know from WWDC 2025. Thanks for watching.